Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join three Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Summer House Season 9 Reunion Part 1.
I'm interested to do this because I feel like you and I might have opposing views.
Yeah, probably we will. The theme of this reunion is, I guess, bedbugs, after the party theme that they had where they were all in bed. I like that everyone was wearing the pastel colors. I did like that. I don't know that I like the whole big comforter on the ground and the headboard thing. I mean, whatever.
I actually liked the set. I liked the color scheme.
Yeah, I like the colors.
I thought the dresses were like out of the Jetsons.
Yeah.
It had a Jetson vibe to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I did not like, clearly, people, I am no beauty queen, but I do have an opinion. I hated Amanda, Paige, and Sierra's hair. Everyone else, Gabby's
Gabby's hair looked great.
hair looked great.
Amanda's hair looked wet. I don't like the wet look.
Amanda, Sierra, and Paige just fell very flat. Lexi
I
looked absolutely stunning, and Lindsay looked great.
Yes, I actually have to agree with you on all of that. As far as the hair goes, I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. It like Sierra's. It looked like they like stopped in the middle of it, and they were like, "All right, you're good."
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree with you. I love the colors, though. I love the color
I did like the
scheme,
color
and
scheme.
I love the way the guys looked. I like the Summer House guys. I like the way the Summer House guys dress. I mean, they personally, they give me Parker House vibes.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And
Absolutely.
like that's the thing I like. You know,
Yeah.
I'm that preppy girl, you know,
Yep.
like I like that.
Yes.
I like that look.
Yes.
It was interesting. Andy pointed out that Amanda goes from Kyle's girlfriend on season 1 to first chair at the reunion on season 9. I mean, listen, I don't think one had anything to do with the other.
It didn't, and she wasn't his girlfriend. She was his booty call. But
Okay, yeah. I mean, that would have sounded really bad.
I know, but I wish he said it because that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. West admits that he has note cards for the reunion, and he looks at them and they say to talk on them because he didn't talk last reunion.
I don't think he could talk. He couldn't talk last year because
No.
Paige cut him down every chance she got, and she was just being Sierra's friend, and it was
Yes.
great, and it was
Yes.
great to watch.
Yes. I also thought it was so strange that we started out the reunion without Imrul out there.
I totally agree with you.
I mean, what? All of a sudden we have a friend of role on Summer House? We've never done this before. I mean, he
No.
missed the first episode. That's it. Like,
Yeah, and
why wasn't he out there?
It's just bullshit. This guy's getting a raw deal, and now look what happened. I mean, we'll get to it, but
Yeah.
like his own family's like the way they. I mean, whatever. We'll get there.
Yeah, we will get there. Andy congratulated Paige on her tour and also about the book and
Yeah,
that fact
she's
that
a bestseller, right? Yeah, New
Yeah.
York Times bestseller. That's great. And did she? I meant to ask you this. Did she and Hannah write it together?
Yes, it's
Okay.
yes, they're
They're both equally as
Yes.
excellent.
They're
Good.
partners. Yes. And about the breakup has been all over the news.
Did you notice Sierra's whole demeanor changed when Andy started talking to Paige about Craig?
No, I did not.
I noticed it.
I did not.
She does. I'm telling you, she harbors certain feelings towards Craig because of what Austin did to her. I do.
You could see during the summer that she was like really building Paige up and letting her know that don't let Craig tear you down. But listen, it could be like you just said, like resentment from what Austin did, which is sad because it's two separate things and they're two separate people.
Totally. And I don't think that's all it was. I think that's a little piece of it with Sierra. I really do.
Yeah. She does ride hard for her girls.
Yeah.
So what did he say?
Well,
Yeah.
did he bring up the ring? I mean, she says she does not believe Craig bought a ring and he never asked her dad. And that does lead me to believe that he probably didn't have a ring. At least he wasn't planning on doing it. I think that we can all see the relationship she has with her father, and Craig would know better than to ever propose to her without asking her father.
Yeah, and why are you going to buy a ring if you didn't ask her father?
Right. Did Bill ask your father?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Did Eric ask your father?
He did not, but it was a different situation in my house. I think if my parents were still married at the time, he would have. My parents were separated, they were not yet divorced, and it was a very murky gray area.
Mm-hmm.
My father wasn't around that much. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't there.
Right.
And Eric certainly didn't have the relationship he has with them now.
Right.
So, no, he didn't, but it was okay that he didn't,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. I would say I've never had this conversation, but maybe I need to. I would say to all my boys that they need to make sure that they ask the father of whoever it is they're going to marry before there's a proposal and get permission and before a ring is purchased. And maybe ask me too, because
Well, I was just going to say, I really do think it depends on the relationship. Like maybe it might be more appropriate in a certain relationship to ask the mom. Like depending on where
yeah,
the relationship's at, but showing respect for a parent
yes,
and asking. I don't think it's 100% necessary, but I think it's a respectful thing to
yes,
do.
I agree with that. And, maybe like you said, maybe the father's not around and,
Right.
yeah, I definitely agree with
But
that.
if she's close with her mother, if she's close with another, ask somebody who she's close with, who you respect. And
Right. Yeah.
now that we got that PSA out of the way.
Yes. We're telling people how to behave. That's our job. So Paige says that when she realized that he was on vacation and acting single, that's when she decided that she was going to announce it on the podcast, because they really didn't have a conversation about how it was going to be announced or what was going to happen.
It's kind of interesting. Don't you think they both have like publicists? Like, don't you think they both have PR people?
Oh, I definitely think they both have yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that like his team didn't get on board with her team. I don't think he was blindsided. I did it first. I think he really thought they were going to get back together.
I do think that you're right. I do think that he did think they were going to get back together,
Because
because
otherwise, I mean, I feel like this conversation needed to happen. They're both public figures and like Bravo's sweethearts.
right. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. Andy does mention that something that really struck him about the whole situation is that Paige thought that he never bought the engagement ring, and everyone there agrees. Everyone agrees
That he didn't.
that he did not.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy's the one who brought it up.
She does say you can't return a custom ring. You can return a custom ring, not for what you paid for it. You can return a custom ring. You can return a custom dress,
I
not
mean,
for what you paid for it.
a diamond is a diamond is
Exactly. Somebody's going to buy that ring, especially if they tell them that it was designed for Paige to Sorbo.
yeah, exactly.
But it probably didn't ever happen. I mean, clearly he's been caught in lies before, Craig.
Lindsay also said that Craig was saying that you told him to buy the ring. And Paige says, I know him and I can tell when he's lying. Like, she didn't tell him to buy a ring. And we never saw her say to him, every time we saw those two interact on camera and he would bring it up, she would be the one who would put it off.
Right.
She was never the one pushing it, ever. That why would she tell him to buy a ring? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Right. And I always thought it was kind of like her shtick, like, the whole thing in the car where she's like, I'm leaving and you're never going to see me again. Like, I just
Right.
always thought like that was just like her shtick with him, you like me more than I like you, but in a funny, like
Right.
joking way, but, and I still think that is true, but yeah, we don't ever see her like
Pressuring him
never.
to take this relationship further. I mean, I even distinctly remember when she was looking for another apartment.
Yeah.
And people said, oh, you should get one. And she adamantly was like, no, this is my apartment. Like, I want my own apartment.
Yeah, like Lindsay said, would you let him help you out if you found an apartment that was a little out of your price range? And she was like, absolutely not. Then thank
No.
God she didn't. Thank God
Right.
she, did make that decision.
Right. Right. Then Andy asks Sierra about the West situation, you know, what her, like why she's, kind of swatted him away. She just wasn't ready to receive it yet at that point. And West thought that, enough time had passed and that maybe she could get over it, but it really wasn't enough time.
No.
Not for her. And he also admits that he handled himself wrong at the reunion, after I guess watching it back and reflecting and, you know, he realized that the Times article really hurt her and that wasn't his intention. And I was very glad to hear him take ownership of that because I don't think he got it. I don't
I
think he
wish I
got it.
read that article to see, like, to have my own personal opinion about how he handled it. Because if he really did just say, we just grew, whatever, like the relationship just kind of, we outgrew it or whatever he said, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, she made it seem like he was like, I broke up with her because I didn't like her anymore, basically.
I mean, I think her problem with it, and she says this, like, you couldn't even talk to me about it, but yet you're going to go talk to a publication? You're going to
Yeah.
talk to a reporter? And I think the situation was that didn't she leave right after the season, after the reunion to do Traders?
Yes.
So, like, after the reunion, they had their little talk at the restaurant, right? And then she left to do Traders.
Yeah.
And then when she came back is when she found out about the article. So not only was she not around, like that plays a part into it,
Sure. You're like
But
blindsided.
right, right. But then when we also find out that during that first dinner that was so awkward that again West really didn't have the words, we find out that he left the table for 20 minutes.
And then came back and still said
And
nothing.
came back and still said nothing. And I'm so glad they showed us that because we had no idea that happened.
No, but I am glad, like, because she said you're a loser, like, and I get it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think she has every right to say whatever she wanted to him. She did, but I also could see him being like, all right, I need to like take a beat, like I got to go upstairs and like collect myself. He probably wanted to cry. He really probably wanted to cry. This beautiful girl who you fucked over just called you a loser, and the entire world's gonna see it. Like, you're gonna have to go collect yourself after that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Then we see a viewer asks Sierra, after you like read West for his bad behavior at that dinner, how come you went upstairs and, you said you kind of want to make out with him? Like, and he's like, what, why did you think you felt that way? And she's like, listen, I did feel bad. I did feel bad, but I did what needed to get done. I still felt bad. Like she still had feelings for him, but
Yeah, you can't just turn it off.
right. She just had to, take a beat and do what she needed to do for her.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I had no idea about this drama with her family. And then a viewer asked her about the drama that was going on with her family. And
She basically says she felt like he wasn't there for her and she was going through something with her family.
Right.
Yeah.
To find out the depths of it, like that was a lot. That, her mom had just recently gotten remarried again. And,
Yeah.
it put her in a tailspin. She I guess was prior to this close with her mom, but if her mom keeps doing this and marrying these men and, she doesn't feel a connection with these people, I get that, I
Yeah.
get that.
Well, I don't know if she has any siblings from her mom and dad, but if she doesn't, and she doesn't talk to her dad, and her mom keeps marrying people
Yeah.
and starting new families, she's like on an island by herself.
Right. And she felt like, she could at least talk to West about that. Like he knew about that. And, she felt like he left her high and dry. Right. And then, West, come to find out, was like, well, you shut your phone off for 2 days.
2 days. She went away for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Right. 2 weeks. That's what I meant. For 2 weeks.
To a
And
retreat in Costa Rica.
yeah, she's like, I had to do that. I don't want to be alone for Christmas. I don't want to be, makes perfect sense to me. And you could see, her other castmates. I mean, Kyle's literally crying. Kyle's
He
crying.
does cry over Sierra a lot.
I
He
mean,
did last reunion too.
yeah, I mean, you could see, like, and listen, Kyle's the one who told Lexi what was happening. Like, he's probably an empath because he really
Yeah.
does, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's an idiot, but
100%.
he does really have feelings. Like, he really does show his emotions, which for a man like that, I think that's something to be said, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But even I mean, I even felt like Amanda seemed surprised to see that. I don't think Paige was as surprised, but I felt like Amanda was shocked to hear what Sierra was saying.
Yeah. I think they know. I'm sure they knew most of it, you know,
Mhm.
but you feel for your friend.
Mhm.
You definitely feel for your friend.
Yeah. So,
Well, I did like that West said when Sierra talks about what she wants,
yes.
it made him realize that he wasn't at that point.
Right.
And I think that that makes total sense.
Yes.
Like, don't, listen, he, at least he admits it. Like, he was brand new on a reality TV show. Obviously, he's getting attention. He was funny. We all fell for it last summer.
Yes. Yes.
He was getting a lot of attention, and he knew he probably wasn't going to be faithful. He wasn't going to be monogamous. So he
Right.
did the right thing.
Right. No, I agree. But it was good to hear him self-reflect and admit it.
Absolutely.
And, Sierra admits that she is, hard on her mom because she feels like, and this affects her relationships, that her mom settles for subpar. And that's why one of the reasons she is so closed and so, takes things very slow because she sees what her mother does and what her mother goes through. And she doesn't want that. And that makes perfect sense too. Makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
But, just like your kids, like, you can't make their decisions for them. You got to let your mom make her own decision. Like,
Yeah.
if she wants to marry somebody, she's going to marry him. Like,
Right. Right.
it is sad though. It is sad.
I hope this is my hope for their relationship. Now that they kind of got a little bit out of, their side of the story, I hope that if they do come back next season, or I hope that there can be more of a friendship,
Yeah.
because
It's hard. That's going to be hard to go back to, but
that's really what West was trying to do. He was trying to salvage it and
yeah.
have a friendship. And I'm thinking, listen, if she can still be friends with Jesse, because she is, right?
Yes, clearly. And
Yeah.
I don't understand it at all.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll get there too.
Yeah. So then they go on a break, right? And Kyle goes over and he hugs her. And Andy's like, Lisa Vanderpump keeps calling me.
That was
She's
so
butt
weird.
dialing me. That was weird.
That was really weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about.
And then Lexi told Sierra she's very strong.
Yes,
But
yes.
she barely gives her a thank you. But
And then the next segment, we see Imrul comes out and Andy starts out with, and again, so you don't bring him out until the next segment and then you start in with this. I just didn't like the way it went down. I'll be honest with you.
me neither. I really feel like Imrul's getting a bad at it.
He really is. He really is. He said, there's been a lot of comments that you're known as the orgy beast. And did you feel like you were pigeonholed? And he said, well, yeah, kind of. I felt that way. Yeah, he did feel that way. He said, to be fair, in my introduction, I did tell them about an orgy, but again, he didn't expect that to be his whole story.
No, and it was the timing. And wasn't it interesting to find out that he only brought girls back 3 times?
Well, 4 girls, right?
Right.
He said,
But
right,
'cause
3
the
times.
last time was 2.
Right.
I mean, Kyle's first season, I'm sure that was going on.
Yes.
Maybe it wasn't on camera, but listen, that's what you do when you have a share house.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't know anybody. I wasn't bougie. I didn't know anybody who had share houses in the Hamptons, but obviously LBI and Manasquan, we knew guys with share houses, and that's what was going on.
Yeah. 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 And so that's what he said, like, it's not like it was every single night. And that's the edit that he got, is that it
For
was
sure. When
that's
they
all.
said 3 times, I'm like,
Well, he said 4
God.
times. He actually did say 4 times. It was actually 4 times, and I was like, "All right, well."
4 girls, though.
I know. They only showed us 3
Yeah.
times with 4 girls, so I don't
Yeah.
know if there was another time that they didn't actually show us. I don't know. But either way, it was a bad edit. And Andy asks, if his family has seen the show, and he said, well, his mom and dad are back in Bangladesh, so they've not seen it, but his brother recently had a birthday party for his only nephew, and his sister-in-law's family is very religious, and they didn't want the orgy beast to be there.
Yeah.
Now that was heartbreaking.
That was sad to hear because it's his only nephew.
Right. And
I
his
mean,
parents
obviously
are in
other
Bangladesh.
yeah, like, I know certain people are more religious than others, but it's like, it's his nephew's birthday. Like, what do you think he's gonna do?
Right. Right. I mean, and he like took, he took it on himself. Like he said, to be fair, I said this, and he said, well, maybe I didn't do a good job connecting with people. He was there by himself. Like he really
Mhm.
was there by himself. Like he didn't have,
Him and Danielle would have been cute. And
I
I
don't know.
think she was kinda into it the one night, and then he brought a girl home.
And Lexi spoke up and said, listen, we could have asked more questions. And
Yes,
she,
she did.
I like that she said that. I do.
Interesting, Bailey wasn't there at all.
No, Bailey, yeah.
We're
Bailey
done with
wasn't.
her. We're just
Yeah.
absolutely done with her.
I wonder if it'll come up in the next episode what
I hope
happened.
it does, and honestly, I hope they bring Imrul back next year. I hope he's filming now. They'd be filming now, right? Or maybe not yet. I
No,
think they start
July.
4th of July, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they bring him back. Like, let's give him another season. You
I
gave
agree.
Jesse and West another season, and look what happened.
Yeah.
That guy Chris never got a second season, huh?
Who was was that the photographer guy?
Yeah.
The weird photographer guy. Then Andy goes on to, it only took 1 weekend for Jesse and Lexi to act as if they were married. Andy asked Jesse after 24 hours, like, what made you so sure that, like, that Lexi was, the girl for you? And he's like, well, I really did like her. And, I guess it was a viewer that said, well, did you really like her? Or was it that you really liked that, you could get the attention of the pretty girl?
She dated Cindy Crawford's son and Pasha's,
Yeah.
right? Victoria Beckham's son.
Yeah.
Like, did you want to just be that guy who's dating the girl who used to date Victoria Beckham's son?
I mean, I do think that he did like her. I don't think I don't know. I don't
I
know
think
what
he
he's.
liked her. I think
Yeah,
he won.
I did.
Listen,
I do think he liked her.
she's absolutely gorgeous. Did you hear the interview with her talking about the night? Remember the night he said that he spent 3 hours and then they went to a club with her mom or something? Did you hear the interview of her explaining that?
No.
That's interesting. I don't know if I'm going to remember it exactly, but the gist of it was he came over, but she had plans with her mom and her sister. They were going to a concert. And he was like, "Oh, can I stay so I can see your mom?" And she was like, "Okay, but then we're heading out." And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So her mom comes in, they talk, blah blah blah. Then they go to the concert. He goes out and he's texting her the whole time, and he's like, "Where are you guys going? Are you going out after?" And she was like, "Yeah, we have plans after. We're going here." And he was like, "Oh, all right." I don't know if he met them there or if he had them meet him somewhere, but anyway, he was the one who was like, "Listen," and I believe her. I don't know why, but I believe Lexi. Like,
No,
I
I believe
just
her.
don't think this girl has any reason to lie. So that night where he was making it like, he was stuck with her mom or whatever he was making it like, that wasn't the case. She had plans with her mom and her sister. She told him, but he happened to be there. Then he wanted to see her mom, but then he was trying to hook up with them afterwards.
No, I believe her too.
I do.
I believe her. Andy asked Jesse if he's ever been in love before, and he kind of stumbled, and then he said yes in high school. So honestly, like this leads me to believe that like Jesse doesn't really know what love is.
Well, he said it. I forget where or when he said it, but that girl who he was in love with in high school wound up sleeping with his best friend.
Yeah.
So he clearly has trust issues. This is, and guys don't bounce back from that like we do. They just don't.
Yeah. He said he did like her for her. Oh, he liked her eyes. He liked her smile. He admit that he should have never gone into Imrul's room. He should have never done that. It was a
Like a
mistake.
real problem with this. Like, and Andy even said it, because I'm sitting here thinking it, and I was glad Andy said it. Everyone was joking and laughing about the toe thing.
Right.
And Lexi was visibly upset.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Could you just imagine that if this were last reunion and say West did this while courting Sierra? Could you imagine if they were having this conversation? There would be no laughing and giggling. They would have been pummeling him over this. But instead, they're laughing and they're giggling. And Lexi's like, what the fuck? I was supposed to be dating this guy.
Right.
And I'm sorry. And I know Imrul doubled down again and said, I have no reason to lie. It was just a toe. Like Lexi said, I thought he got a blowjob. I thought he got a blowjob too. I don't know. I felt really bad for Lexi in that moment.
No, I did too. I did too. Listen, he admitted it was a mistake. He blamed it on being inebriated. Okay.
At least he didn't say it was a joke like he does everything else.
Well, he did say.
He kind of did, didn't he?
He did. He did say. He did say. And Lexi's like, it's completely sketchy. Like, you lied to me about that. Like, he did lie to her about that. He also admits that watching back the weekend that, she wasn't there and how he behaved with Sierra, that he was super flirty. But then Sierra drops the bomb that they had done more than that they had kissed. And then they show us the kiss that she's referring to. Is that the kiss she was referring to, or that's just the kiss that they had to show us?
No, that was the kiss she was referring to.
Are you sure, though? I feel like that wasn't the kiss she was referring to, but that's the kiss they had on camera, so that's what they showed us. I
think that's what she was referring to, and that's when she was like, Wes, can I kiss Jesse? And then she was like, I have the coolest boyfriend. Remember? And Jesse was like, whoa, boyfriend. Yeah. I thought that's what she was referring to. I didn't think of it, but you could be right.
I don't know. I don't think so, because the way she said it, we've done more than that. Like, that wasn't anything. That was in front of everybody.
Yeah. And then again, like Jesse's like, Sierra, like making it as if they've done more. Like, Lexi is sitting right there.
Right.
You clearly hurt her. Like, I just feel like nobody's giving a shit about this girl.
Right.
And they hadn't all season. And even, well, we'll get there. So what Paige says, it's like, you weren't being her friend.
So Lexi says, watching it back was tough because he was never like that in front of my face, which I totally believe. Like, 100%. I believe that he wasn't like that in front of her face, right? So of course she's watching it and she's like, I look like an idiot. And that's a horrible place to be put in, especially because it's so many months later.
Yeah.
And then Sierra jumps in, like, I totally get your perspective on that. But, for me, we've done worse. And, like, why are you bringing me into this? Well,
'cause you're in it.
Right.
You're in it.
You're the one who's in it. Right. Andy asks Sierra if she takes Jesse's flirting seriously. And she said, no, if I wanted to fuck Jesse, I would have done it before the summer.
And we know that. We said it last week.
Right. I totally agree with that. And the other thing that Lexi brings up is, like, it's hard to watch it back and see Paige and Amanda, like, watch them flirting and saying, they should be together. And Paige is like, oh, I didn't say that. And she's like, well, Amanda did. And they show it. Amanda did say it. And Paige also jumps in and said, well, I told you not to date him. She did tell him not to. She did say, don't date him.
When?
Well, I mean,
it was almost the end of the season.
No.
And she never said why.
Oh, no.
She was at the bedbug party, wasn't it?
No.
It was before that.
Yes. No, she did tell Lexi not to date him. She did. She absolutely did.
Okay.
Early
I don't
on,
remember that. Okay.
No, early on, she did. Paige did say that. I mean, it wasn't a good look for Paige and Amanda. It wasn't.
No. And Amanda's like, well, I said it because, it's so unrealistic. That's not why you said it, because you said it again on Watch What Happens Live when Andy asked you, and she was like, I so want that to happen, Sierra and Jesse. And at the time she was on Watch What Happens Live and said that, we're in the show, and it was before
Before the flirting.
any static between like Jesse and Lexi
Lexi
seemed
were
solid.
okay.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. So she doubled down on it. It's not that it was unrealistic. It's bullshit. You're playing your girls, you're there for your girl, and that's it.
Right. Then Sierra says to Lexi, on your press tour, you really made it obvious that you were coming for me. And then Lexi brings up the whole birthday thing. So this is where I am confused seriously as to what happened, because I've heard so many different stories about this birthday thing, right? So Lexi had said, I think it was on Watch What Happens Live, she said it. Was it there that she said it, that it was her birthday and she invited everybody, and then Jesse and Sierra posted the picture the same day that they were out someplace doing something together? Right, brunch, right. But they are saying that it was posted the next day, and they're both saying they didn't even know it was her birthday, and she's saying, well, it was in the group text, and Sierra is saying, well, you and I weren't close, so why would I go to your birthday? And Jesse's saying, yeah, you were mad at me. And she's like, well, I invited you because I didn't want to take you out of the group text because you were already in the group text.
Right. They
I don't know.
clearly knew it was her birthday. They knew
Yeah.
it was her birthday.
Yeah.
Whether you posted that intentionally or not, you knew
Right.
it was the girl's birthday.
Right. No, I think that they did know it was her birthday. I do think that. But Sierra on Watch What Happens Live was also saying, no, we did not.
She's lying. I think that Sierra looks terrible in this whole thing.
Let me ask you this, though. But why would she lie? Because she's owned every other thing. Like, why
Because
would
she
she
doesn't
lie?
want to look like a bad guy in the media. Because she's getting some shit for it. And listen, when it comes down to it, Sierra really didn't do anything wrong. Jesse's the one who was playing both sides. Sierra doesn't, she doesn't want to have a bad look at all. So she's coming off way too defensive, and it's making her look like a complete bitch. She
No.
looked like such a bitch to me in this reunion. I feel bad for what she's going through with her family. She honestly just seems like a very unhappy person, Sierra. And that makes me sad for her. Get off of reality TV though, and go to try to help your mental health. Get off of reality. These people who are struggling and stay on reality TV, it's like, what are you doing? Because it's not a good look. She looks like a complete bitch, I think, Sierra.
It's interesting that you say that, because I've seen more on social media anytime we say Sierra is, I see people more going after Lexi.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sierra doesn't owe Lexi anything. Lexi's immature. Lexi needs to go. I see everyone is team Sierra. I don't see many people are team Lexi, to be quite honest with you.
I don't see people being team Lexi all that much either, but to me, Sierra just seems very unhappy. Why do you want to stay in a situation where you're so unhappy?
I don't know if she seems that unhappy. I mean,
She
yes,
doesn't seem very
obviously.
happy on the show.
I don't know. I would like to give Sierra grace. I don't
It's
know.
so funny because what my next note is, well,
What's your next note?
Sierra is not giving Lexi any grace. Like, honestly, you saw the way Lexi was moving. You know why she was moving the way she was moving. You know Jesse was feeding her a line and then coming and being like a yenta with you, Paige, and Amanda. You saw that. You saw what was happening. Jesse is the problem, but you're still BFFs with that's the thing with Sierra. Like, you can feel a certain way, but Lexi's not bringing you into the media. We all saw what happened. You were laying on a raft with him. You got your legs dangling over him.
Right.
If I know friends with a guy and I know he's dating somebody, whether I'm single or not, I'm not stretching my legs out across him. I'm not doing that because I wouldn't want it done to myself. Those Amanda, Paige, and Sierra, they had no respect for Lexi. They weren't vibing with her at all. And then put it on her and said she didn't put herself out there. But
Right.
Jesse was all over her shit. I mean, we saw it at that hibachi night.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was. I mean,
He's the problem, but
he was
it's
spinning
like they're
her to
defending
be
him.
yeah, he was spinning her to be this crazy jealous girl.
Yeah.
And that is not really what it seemed to be.
Right.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm very torn about the whole situation. I've always liked Sierra. In the beginning, I was very upset with Sierra. I thought she was doing Lexi dirty. I don't know. I really don't. I'm flip-flopping. That is what I'm doing. I'm being a flip-flopper.
You're allowed.
I'm flip-flopping. That's what I'm doing.
You're allowed.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I just feel like, I feel like a broken record, but Amanda, Sierra, and Paige have each other's back, and that's it.
They
And
definitely
I think
do.
it's very clear as day that Jesse was the problem here, and they're not calling him out on it. They're like
No.
jokingly skirting around it and then, giggling off the whole toe thing. Like, he's a fuck boy. Call him out for being a fuck boy. Tell him he was wrong. Like, this is a nice girl. You just did this, you just did
Right.
this too.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. We'll have
Sorry,
to see what
maybe I shouldn't
happens.
have said Sierra looks like a bitch. Now I feel bad that I said that. Sometimes I can be very harsh with my words, people. I've had a couple of drinks. I don't want to, because I did really feel for her with the whole family. Like when she started talking about her family, I'm like, because I'm like writing my notes. I'm like, and then she started talking about her family. I'm like,
Yeah, this is the thing. This is why I am a flip-flopper, because I feel the empathy for her. Like we
sure.
don't know the whole story for any of these things. So you jump to the judgment of what you initially see. And I initially saw, my initial feeling was, "Ooh, Sierra is not being good to Lexi." And I'm like, well, Sierra's been there a long time. I mean, longer than Lexi. She built a friendship with Jesse. She had this falling out with West, but yet she's still trying to maintain the friendship with Jesse, who's best friends with West, who are putting the beds together when Lexi's not there. Like, there's just all this other dynamic that we are seeing, and then we don't know what's going on that we're not seeing. And it's like, then when I hear the more of the story, I'm just like, all right, maybe I was too hard. And that's okay. We're allowed to change our minds. Listen.
We are.
I mean, no one's listening to us anyway. So
Exactly.
So listen, we can make this shit up as we go along. Who's gonna stop us?
We should just start saying like the most outlandish things and see if anybody even reacts.
See if that goes viral.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know how many parts we're gonna get of this reunion.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, do we know how many episodes?
I mean, we know there's going to be a next part 2, but I don't know if it's going to go beyond that.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if it does. I do hope that we have Imrul. No, but you know what? I already hear that he leaves before it's over.
I heard that too.
I don't know if he leaves on his own or I don't know. There's more. I need to know what's going on.
Me too. I'm
feel bad
Team Emerald
for this
now
guy.
too.
I feel
I'm
bad for him
totally
too.
Team Emerald. We can totally agree on that.
Okay, I feel bad for this
Everybody's
guy.
Team Emerald.
I don't know if everybody is.
Yeah, that's true. Real quick, did you watch Jersey Shore?
No, it's new now. Finally, did not watch it. I heard that they were in Atlantic City when the day before
not on the first episode. It's really good, the first episode. But
no, I heard they were there the day before I was there, just this past weekend.
No way.
I heard they were there just the day before I was there.
Oh my God, your timing.
I know. It's this is my life. This is my life.
I have to be honest with you. I really hope they get rid of Angelina. Did you know that on her podcast, when in the off season, she said that being around her roommates makes her physically ill?
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I did start listening to her podcast, and I couldn't listen to it anymore because
me neither.
I was like,
I just wish that they would get her off the show, because I don't know about you, but I watched the Jersey Shore family vacations because I like to see these guys with their families, with their kids. I don't want drama on this show. It's not Real Housewives. Right. I don't want that. I just want to see them with their family. Like, to me, it's enough entertainment where we don't need the other bullshit. She's just making shit up just to bring drama. And I don't like it.
No, I don't like that.
If you feel physically ill being around them, then don't fucking be around them, asshole.
She wants the paycheck.
She wants the paycheck, but it's like nobody, honestly, does anybody really care? Like if Angelina's on the show? I'd much rather see the rest of them. If she was going to have a normal relationship with a normal person and we could see that, okay, but she can't.
Yeah. She is the one who actually needs some serious
Yes.
therapy.
Yes.
I mean, I think she has admitted it, but I don't know if she's actually implemented it.
Yeah, me neither.
So I would like to see that journey with her, but no, I don't like seeing them fight either. And now that Sammy's back and they're all in such a good place together, I don't think that not that they needed her before. They don't need her, but
They don't need her.
they consider themselves a family and they're not going to kick her out. They're not going to do that unless she does something that is going to affect their livelihood.
Right. Right. Like the sit down they have with Ronnie.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Which she's not in that position, so.
Well, not
Let's hope
now.
not. Yeah,
Right.
let's hope not.
Let's hope she doesn't get there, but I
Right.
mean, you know, it's a very fine line when there's mental health involved. There's a very fine line.
Absolutely.
So I don't
Yeah.
know. Didn't
All
see
right,
it,
we'll
but
watch it. We'll
yeah,
talk.
I will watch it and we'll talk about it. We'll definitely,
Yeah.
definitely talk about it.
All
All
right.
right. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and tell your friends. Bye.
Bye.